Hello again. Today we're going to run through a quick little tutorial on payment terms for your business. This applies to invoices that you submit to your clients. When you go to submit an invoice, let's open up one right here. These are your payment terms right here. So we have net 30. I'm going to give you a breakdown of what those items are and how you can change them. So let's get out of here, go to your gear wheel, all lists, and go to terms. These are the items, and let me back that up. These are the items that are currently inside of this QuickBooks Online file. You may have similar or different online options for you based on what you've been using or you have generically created. I'm having a hard time with some of those words today, pardon me. Anyways, I wanted to show that this is where you can go in and edit them, or we can add to the existing list as it is. So you don't want to necessarily do it inside of the invoice itself, although it's not a bad idea, it's just not the most thorough idea. So we'll run through both options of how to create this, but I wanted to give you the proper option first. So again, we go to the gear wheel and we go to lists, all lists, and then we come to payment terms. So over here we have due on receipt. I'm going to open this as an edit. This is due on receipt because it means it is due the day that you issue that receipt. The date on that invoice is the date that it's due. There is no grace period for time for payment from your client. It is due that day. You can change these items out because these are able to be utilized universally. We want to leave the one due on receipt exactly as it was. It's due in 0 days. So your net 15 means it is due in a fixed number of days. So that means from the date of the invoice forward, 15 days, this invoice will then be considered due. Same with 30 and same with 60. You get the general idea here. Now, what starts to play a little bit of complexity in this is that you've got items for bigger companies such as a 210 net 30. So what that means, we'll create a new one that's 2. And you may have actually seen this at some point in time. So what this means is that it is due net 30. The full amount of this invoice is due by your client in 30 days. So you can say 30 days, or if it's by a certain day of the month, but for this purpose, it's in 30 days. Let's apply a discount if paid early. This first portion means that they get a 2% discount if paid within 10 days. If you're wanting to generate a quicker return on your cash flow, this is a good incentive to give them because they can save 10%. These are items that some businesses embrace, some businesses do not. By generally speaking, most of the service industry has, for small businesses, is due on receipt because you have already performed the service. So you're giving it to them as a completed item or a completed service, and you're requiring payment as soon as it has been completed. Now, if you want to expand on those down the road, we definitely can. But for now, I do believe that minus the 2% 10 net 30, your due on receipt, due 15, due net 30, and due net 60 are your most standard and most common. Let's go over here to an invoice and let's show you how it'll populate if we wanted to create a new item over here. So let's say we wanted to put a new one in. It does give you the same opportunity inside of here that it gives you inside of the list function. So you can do it right in the invoice. However, it does sometimes pose a little bit of a little less opportunity for you to pay attention to what you're creating if you're also creating the invoice at the same moment. So if you have items that you need to change, if it's not in here, jump out before you create the rest of it and go over to your lists again and just create the item as you want to and think it through before you're finished and save it. That way it doesn't get mixed up with whatever's going on inside of this invoice, because you do not want to accidentally utilize it later and have the wrong terms behind it. So just do the due diligence and get it set up properly. So now we can go back and hit due on receipt. And let's say it is not due till the 1st. Then it's going to give you the same. If we change this to do net 15, it automatically calculates the change on its own. So if we can change it, it'll change on the due date. It is intuitive, and it will make that proper change when you change the terms of the invoice itself. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let us know. Talk to you soon.